colleague that you see sitting above me is my very good friend and all-round nice guy, John Rowe. And it's been a little while since we saw you, but we just couldn't stay apart from you guys much longer. And those three people that kept inboxing us wanting to see a show, you've and my mum, you've got your wish.
Yeah, good on our mums, I reckon. Yeah, good stuff.
Good evening to you, my friend. I love your little fake Zoom background up there. Well done.
Yeah, it's terrible living in paradise, isn't it? But yeah, going extra well. I missed you too, man. It's been a few months now. I mean, I don't think we bothered for the last round, did we? That we just sort of thought, oh, this is way too traumatic.
I never said I missed you, by the way, so I don't know where you're getting that from.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's in your heart there, mate.
I'm sure it's in my heart. Season's greetings, Andrew Lake. Thank you very much. Same to you, our good friend, and all-round Carlton Google, all-round knowledgeable gentleman and founder of Blue Horizons. Thank you for joining us, Andrew. It's a pleasure to see you.
Brendan, great to see you too. I'm taking this hat off because seriously, it's still 34 degrees outside here.
Very nice, very nice. I'll leave mine on. I'm down in Melbourne. I'm not in the tropics like yourself, but someone asked me on Twitter, would there be, I said, we're putting the show on tonight. They said, will Santa be there? And I said, no, it'll just be two old blokes with big sacks. That was close enough. Luigi Felino, thank you for tuning in. It's a pleasure to see you once again. We've missed some of these familiar names that we've come to know and love over the last little while in the last year. So it's great that we can be back on to do a show. We're going to only do one show before the season or the year ends, and then we'll be back on deck, bigger and better than ever next year. We don't want to overstimulate. There's a lot of Carlton stuff going on, but we don't want to overstimulate. You don't want to be hearing from us every week. Surely there's a little bit of an endpoint to Carlton saturation.
Well, surely with us too, mate, less is more.
Never a truer word has been spoken.
But yeah, cheers. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hey, hope you all got a drink and enjoying the show.
Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Festivus, whatever you celebrate. Mick Lever, hey boys, Merry Christmas. Missed you guys, missed you too, Mick. Thanks for tuning in. You mustn't have much else to do, Mick, if you've missed us. I might start off, and you briefly touched on it, mate, by addressing the elephant in the room. How was your digs at your local mental institution following the end of round one? Did you make any new friends? Was the cell and the digs okay, and the treatment work okay for you?
What, after the last round? Yeah, all good. Now, look, moved on. It was an embarrassing day though. I went down to the local surf club and watched it on the big screen. I watched the Hawthorn Bulldogs game before. And of course, Hawthorn had to win that, and we're in, and we're all happy. And then that, of course, didn't happen. And then the debacle that was the last round, the last game, yeah, it still hurts. And for the players, I'm sure it hurts 10 times more.
It's still very painful, I must admit. The medication helps. I've tried hypnosis. What else have I done?
My doctor just said we need 10 slabs of James Bogue stacked.
Intensive experimental brain erasing memory therapy I've tried.
Bit of total recall action.
Bit of total recall. Bit of Men in Black stuff where they put that old mate thing in front of you to zap your brain, to zap your memory. But they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The Brownlow revived me, I must say. That just got me back into action. It just saved me, I think, from extinction.
Yeah, look, my thoughts on individual awards, and I made it pretty clear during the night, and I haven't heard from our WA guys since. I think they got a bit pissed off.
Surely it made you feel a little bit better.
Not at all. Not
Okay.
at all.
I've got the Carlton stubby holder that needs an update now. Obviously, we've got another name to add to that in the great form of Paddy Cripps. Just like to thank that umpire as well for helping us out with those votes, and slipping him a couple of K during the year obviously helped a bit.
Checks in the mail, mate. Checks in the mail.
Hank Lunenberg, g'day to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Darren Familo, thank you, Darren. Tom Whitaker, g'day to you. Rob Galich, I always stuffed it up, Rob. I'm sorry, buddy. Season's greetings to you, my friend. Mick Lever says 100 days left. That'll go pretty quickly.
Yeah, that'll fly, won't it?
It'll fly. But no, I hope you're well. Hope everyone's well. If anyone wants to come on for a chat tonight, let us know. Johnny will stick a link in the chat. We won't make this all about us. I've got a few things to cover off. We've just analysed the end of our season in one foul swoop. Hope everyone else has got over it as well.
Shit.
That might not have been the word I would have used, but yeah. Robbie Varley, g'day Robbie. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Really great. We've missed you all. We've had a little bit of a break, as I said, mentally detoxed, you might say. We can't dwell on this forever, and we've got a very exciting year coming up for sure.
Yeah. Look, so let's go straight into it. What did you think of our trading and drafting trip?
Very good question, and of course we'll also open that up to everyone else on the floor. And again,
did you do your best 22?
Have I done it?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Just in a little bit of a group we've got with our Blue Horizons gents. It's been a bit of a source of debate. I've seen a couple of people have done it. I'll try and drag it out to see if people believe in it. First of all, Blake Acres, I think probably fits a really nice hole for us in our list profile. Big-bodied. When I say big-bodied, I was at training the other day. I hope people got a chance to tune in. The first open training for the end of the year. He is a big guy. He's up there in terms of the breadth of his shoulders. He's right up there with Cripps, and I think probably matches him for height. He's a really big guy, Fortunate to have a chat to him. He's looking forward to wearing the number 13. He said, but yeah, I think we'll fit in really nicely to add and complement where we are. We've got George Hewitt in as that. I suppose more experienced, larger, big-bodied, guy that's been around the block.
I think we've gone tits up here, mate.
Have we? Okay.
Yeah, we're down to zero people.
Maybe just people that have got sick of us.
Could be. But, geez, that happened quick.
No. We've got some people coming in with questions. Everyone okay with the stream? Sorry, guys. Have we got hope just someone gives us a shout out if you can still hear us and see us. That'd be good. I'll carry on. Maybe it's just a bit of a lag. But yeah, if anyone's got a problem with the stream, let us know, please. Blake Acres. Good get. People disagree with me vehemently on this one, but I'm not sure if he's now starting 18. I've got him probably on our probably now 22, but I think, I don't think he's in our starting 18 on the ground. I think we've got a couple of ahead of him, but we'll see what happens. But I think a good pickup all the same. What do you reckon on him?
I'm still trying to work through the tech here, mate. But look, from the guys, I've got a good mate who's a very good mate who's a St Kilda supporter. He didn't rate him too much while he was at St Kilda, but said he got a lot better once he went to Fremantle. So he was a bit dirty on that. The question is on finishing. I haven't seen a lot of him play, but if he's sharpened up his finishing skills, then it could be a good acquisition. I do have him on a wing because we don't bring players in unless we're going to play him in the 22. So I've got him in. I'll be interested to see how it goes. I do say to everyone, temper expectations kind of thing.
No, very good point. Very good point. Like you said, we don't bring them in like that unless we're going to, play them. But that's the age-old question, isn't it? Are we going to play him just because we brought him into play, or is he going to have to fight his way for a spot over someone we think might be in front of him? But that will be a good thing to play out. And I think, as I said, from profile point of view, I think he fits our list perfectly. Before we go on to a next sort of departure or pickup, Robbie Varley says, question, round 1 away game. Can we organise tickets near wonderful Carlton folk? I think we can get away memberships. It's going to be a sellout, but it's probably going to have to be get online and probably buy some tickets online. I think it's probably the best way, Robbie. I'll chase up the best way to do that. I'm not 100% sure. It's a shame it's an away game, but maybe we'll just put a corporate box on. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, look, Facebook did cut out, mate. So there's going to be a bit of lag as people sort of come back on. Not sure what happened there.
Okay.
So most of our show so far has gone to just us.
Okay. Maybe they can see us on the replay. Let us know.
We're talking about all the same stuff anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, we've still got people tuning in on the chat. Let us know if you can hear us okay, please. Mick Lever's got us. That's good. Cal Vinita, g'day, Cal. Thanks for joining us. Darren Familos asked Hewitt how getting over his injury. Yes, getting over his injury, tracking very well. The injury report was out a couple of days ago. I think the only people sort of still in rehab are Marchbank, Hewitt, Cunningham, and I think there was a couple of others that just escaped me at the moment. But Walsh, who obviously missed the last part of last year with that back. All accounts, he's on track to start full training after Christmas.
Yeah. Like H said in his interview, he'll be good to go round 1 because he's that sort of a professional. You know what? All these injury updates and all that are great, but all I'm hoping to see in all of these injury updates is absolutely nothing about Caleb Marchbank. just have a full season, mate. See how we go. I mean, he could be anything. We've said it from the start. He could be one of the best backmen in the league. Oh my God, just have a season.
We don't want to hear his name until it's selected on the halfback flank at round 1.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, bloke that
no news is good news on the Marchbank front.
Correct. A bloke that you gave raps to. He was your number 1 player. He was your rising star. He was your next big thing, and now he's gone Essendon, Will Setterfield. So, well done for you on that one and your insight there. How do you feel about that?
I absolutely love the graphic that you put up. I don't know where you got that from, where he's going in the Essendon jumper. I thought that was immense. But look, for some players, it might just be need a change of scenery. And, we tried him as a winger. He's not a winger. He's an inside player. So if he gets his chance at Essendon and becomes a decent inside player, then it's a win for everyone, I think.
Yes. Agreed. Good luck to Will Setterfield. I think the best result for everyone that he was moved on. Liam Stocker, were you surprised with that move?
I think everyone was a little taken aback at the start of it all that he was delisted, but I think sort of now as the information's come out a little bit that he wasn't quite fit enough and not quite ready for AFL. The fact that no one took him up from other teams, goes to speak volumes. And I think that we've got to give Curls Jr. a little bit of a pat on the back for making the hard decision, I think.
Yeah, look, obviously the way we picked him up in that deal that we sort of made, and there was lots of raps on him. We saw really good glimpses of his hardness and his competitiveness and the way he sort of went into bat for the players. And then, of course, it was out that he was experiencing some anxiety. He had some time away from the club. So obviously, I think that's impacted as well on the way he's maybe gone about his footy. Um, he himself said he was shocked. He thought he was going to get another contract with a footy club or another year. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. But like you said, hard calls have to be made, and you don't win premierships on the back of just keeping blokes around on for hope, I suppose.
We're past that, and I think that's a Stocker and the Setterfield thing is hoping that they will live to their potential. We can't do that anymore. We don't have the luxury or the the anti-luxury, if you like.
Yeah, that's it. So other departures, I can't think of sort of any real other notable departures off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, nothing comes to mind. But all the rest of them were expected, I guess. Luke Parks may be a little bit of a question mark in terms of having that depth there, but I don't think anyone was crying in their beer over that one.
No.
And I think next year you'll find the same with that other backman that we picked up in the mid-season draft or pre-season draft. I think you'll find the same that if he doesn't do some significant things in the twos or come in and be a great backup, he'll probably disappear as well.
Yep. Andrew Lake Cowan, a better footballer than Parks. I wasn't a huge rap on Parks. He was a bit of a turkey get, I suppose. Congratulations to him. He played a couple of games.
Thanks, Andrew. Sam Durden. Yeah, go on. Sorry, mate.
That's it. Sam Durden was picked up. I think Boyd has shown enough to think that he can sort of set himself up there. We've got an abundance, really, of halfback flankers, don't we? Richie Benakaza, Plough was still there. Yes, Mr. Plough was there. Actually looking really fit and muscular. Biggest I've ever seen him. I've got a real good close-up of Plough the other day at open training. Really good, really happy, really fit. We'll be playing twos this year if we're going to go anywhere.
That's seriously interesting. And thank you very much for doing the feed from training. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I was in meetings and all that during the day. I logged in for about a minute, I think, and then had to move on. So I'll go back and have a look at it. But that's interesting that he's put on so much size. So is that now that they're trying to build him up for another role, like to be a fallback key position, albeit, he's not the tallest bloke, but will it be a fallback key position if the worst comes to worst?
Could be. It could be just him recognizing that, in his game, that he just needs to do that and get bigger and fitter if he's going to compete with the guys that are there. And obviously, Marchbank coming into the side, Newman there, McGovern there. So, it could just be on him saying, look, I need to do whatever I can to make sure that I'm playing a role in the side. And I'm sure he doesn't discount himself out from playing senior footy.
Yeah, absolutely not. He's got some very key traits. He has his deficiencies, but he's still at that level. I do believe, but probably back up for us the way we sit now. I mean, the way we've drafted and the way the amount of talent that we've got in there. I'm amazed that we didn't go for another key position back in the draft or in trade or something, because it's if one of them does go down, we really don't have a lot there, do we? McGovern's not a key position. You could also argue Marchbank is not key position because of his height. They're good intercept run off sort of players, aren't they?
I'm bullish. I'm bullish on Lewis Young. Playing well and being that key position back full back or enough back as we need him to be. Some of his intercept marking last year was elite, I thought. So I'd be really bullish on Lewis Young, Lewis Young back there.
It was more from the point of view if one of them does go down, either Young or Wiedering.
Okay.
Who have you got there?
Yep.
Just pretty much nothing.
Yep. We shopped around O'Brien and Dow, no takers for them, so they're back in navy blue. See any major roles for them in our best 22?
I've got none of them in my best 22.
Okay.
And that's sad for them, that they couldn't get a gig elsewhere, or we couldn't just do the right deal. But O'Brien's got another 2 years. I've got no idea why he got 2-year contract. 1 year would be fine, I would have thought. But yeah, there we go. He's got a 2-year contract. Akers probably takes his spot now. It's up to those two now. What a shit draft that was for us.
Mm-hmm. And it's good that they're not. We haven't got them in our best 22, isn't it? It shows where our side's at, because both those players, as we know, can fill senior roles.
Yeah. Now, Andrew Lake Lemmy, I was probably most excited about Lemmy getting drafted than I was any other guy, because what I wanted to see out of this draft was, and I think I said this on previous shows, I may not have, what I wanted to see out of this draft is to have the next generation key position backs and forwards come through, because my rationale was there that, you've got H, Charlie, Wiedering all come through in the 2015 draft. It's now 7 years on, and they're playing together and playing their best footy. So what does it look for us? What does it look like for us in 7 years' time? Do we need to start bringing those key positions in now? So I'm most excited by Lemmy. I think the other three guys that we got in the draft, I think that we just saw that we had a potential need, back and forwards running players, and that really none of them excited me. I could see the logic behind it, but yeah, I was nonplussed, to be honest, by the draft. Like you said before, Trev, before you comment to that, is we've got 1 million halfback flankers. We've got and some of those halfback flankers we've identified before could actually push up and play wing. Sam Doherty being one, Adam Sard being another, and then you've got all elite wingmen, haven't you? Really, and then you fill those halfback flank positions with who we've already got. So I was a bit nonplussed, to be honest.
Look, every kid that we draft, or every team they draft, they're Bruce Duel at the draft, and the proof comes in the pudding. Down the track. I thought it was a great, in terms of our picks that we had and the player profiles that we got, I thought it was a great investment in our future. There's arguments to say a couple of those kids will push for round one. I don't think that they will, or I don't think that they should be in line for round one. But we picked where we had some holes in our future. So I really think it was a good investment in our future, and some good young kids that can play in those outside roles. And I think they complemented our list really, really nicely. And Lemmy is probably that X factor player out of the box that you could potentially turn him into something. Like Andrew Lake says, he can play at both ends. So he's going to be a project for the footy club and for the development team. What I'm more excited about, and I had this argument, we talked about our previous kids that we've drafted. What I'm more excited about are the people in development roles that we've got to actually invest into these kids. People like Luke Power, that I think, and we're putting some really hard effort and hard money in our development. So that's where I'm more excited that the kids that we get, we can invest in properly and nurture, and the fact we've got our own VFL side, all that kind of stuff, to me is the most exciting part, that we can keep them in the system and keep them close to home and bring them up when we need them.
Yeah, here. That's it's a great statement that you made, or great insight that you've made there. If I'm not mistaken, Luke Power has been made reserves coach now, I think, hasn't he? And still overseeing some of the development. I think
Yep.
we said 5 years ago, mate, when we first started, might be 8 years ago that we first started, is that the reserves coach needs to be a key member of your development team.
Yep.
And you can't have that when you've got another side that you're. The only guys that have done it well is Hawthorn, aren't they? They've got their Box Hill Hawks, and it's always been a training ground. It's always been a development ground for Hawthorn since they've been together, which is a lot of years now. But no other club's done it properly, and we didn't, and we needed to go back to the all Carlton situation. Lonergan, got to call out Lonergan too. Yarrawonga boy, by the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be talking to you once again after a bit of a layoff for John and I to undertake intensive therapy as a result of the finish to our season. But we are back with a vengeance. We're back hard. We're back like our team are, and we are into pre-season. Speaking of pre-season, I probably need to lose about 6 kilos over pre-season. It's been a good off-season. But thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Justin Matmore, Cunningham will be like a new recruit next year. I certainly hope so. G'day, Mac Champion. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I like the role of newly appointed Lonergan from Geelong. Yes, I'm right there with you there. Mick Lever, do we know if Rats could come back? Well, he's gone to North Melbourne under their new coach, Alistair Clarkson. And probably will be taking the job over when Clarko gets the flick if anything happens with his little issue. But no, we won't be getting Rats back. Andrew Lake, Kemp, the perfect tactical sub next year. Kemp, he worries me a little bit. It's just I don't know what they're gonna do with him, where they're gonna try and what the idea is in terms of what kind of player he's going to be. I still think he's probably a longer term investment still. So I think he's gonna be in and out before we see it. It's going to be a year or two since we see him a regular get.
So I'll answer that with a question: are we playing him out of position by playing him forward and back?
That's the question. I don't know. Where do you see him? I'd love to hear what everyone else sort of see him as. He's just that swingman type player. They've tried him in a few different roles in the twos. I don't know what their idea is. I don't know what his real fit is, but that's why I'm saying it could be a year or so since we've seen him get a regular gig because he just hasn't got that position tied down.
Yeah, look, I'll just go back to the draft day and how excited they were at his inside midfield work, and then he got a knee injury and he was stuffed, or might have been before that. Is that his best position? And we're not playing him in that as that in the twos. That concerns me a little. Are we trying to, put a square peg into a round hole again?
Well, hope not. Hope not. Luigi says play him as a midfielder. No better way than to stick him into the fire. I think he played midfield as a junior a lot of the time. So maybe maybe if we can get him a tank and put him in the midfield in the twos, that's good. Good development for him in a couple of years where maybe we're moving on someone like Hewitt. So maybe that's where we see him too.
Actually, that's a good call because Hewitt is 29 this year, isn't he?
Yeah. Hewitt came in to top up where we are, and we saw a window, and he's done a fantastic job. But maybe that's somewhere where he can fit in when Hewitt goes.
Yeah, fair enough. Williams, how old's he? He'd be 27 as well, 28.
Yeah, I think he's getting up there.
Yeah.
Martin, a lot of people are putting players out for their breakout years. Thank you for doing that. Troy Talumio. G'day, Troy. Says Jordan Boyd's in for a breakout. Thank you for putting that up there. Someone else says Cotters is in for a breakout year. Let us know who you think is in for that breakout year. It's a good question. I'm not going to ask John because every time he calls someone out, they're giving the flick the next year. So I wouldn't do that to any player.
It's like me picking the Melbourne Cup winner. They always end up in the curtains.
Pretty much. They've got a bolt through their head. I might remind everyone that I did pick Matthew Kennedy to have a breakout year this year at the start of the year, but that's just me and my extremely excellent judge of football talent.
I just want to go back. In all seriousness, Boyd and what was the other one that you just mentioned?
Cottrell?
Boyd and Cottrell. The problem is I don't see them being in the best 22 or the starting 22. So
Wow.
they're going to have to break in and then prove their worth, I think.
Boyd and Motlop says Luigi, Darren Familiar, young Motlop as well. I tell you what, again back to training. I did have a chat to Jesse, and he looked like a proverbial brick shithouse. He was extremely solid. I said to him, been doing a little bit extra in the gym, and he just had a little smile and gave me a bit of a wink. He is massive. His physical presence is really changed dramatically, and I think people get a little bit of a shock when they see him and how much muscle he's put on. It's a really good call for Motlop to have that breakout year. In and out of the side, learned a lot. I think he was a little bit selfish the way he played some of his footy, but it's a really good call. I'm really excited for Motlop for next year.
Okay, so this. You mentioned two now that have really bulked up. This is super interesting to me now. Is it because we've used Geelong now are the benchmark who've got super big bodies and just monster people off the ball, did all year, and then just absolutely slaughtered their opposition in the grand final? Is that now our benchmark that we're going back to be able to compete with the Geelongs of the world? Because seriously, when we played them, we played a good game, and they were just nowhere near us.
Look, it's a fair argument. Our list and our profile and our ages are getting to that stage where we said it last year that we should have been playing finals. We didn't, but we lost games, I think, through potentially lack of conditioning, sometimes lack of hardness, hard bodies. So I hope there's a fair emphasis on that physical presence part of the game. We know Voss is a physical player, was a physical player. He's hopefully wanting to play a more physical brand of footy to go with, his game style of last year. So, I didn't sort of notice a super difference in many of the players' physiques, but I'm sure that's going to happen still over summer. Jesse Motlop just stood out like a sore thumb.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah, okay. I might have to redo my 22. It's I've got paradise behind me here, but the downside of it is I can't go and see training and see all these little tips and tricks. It's great.
I got sunburn, but it was a beautiful day. It was a great morning. All the players were really, really engaging. Lewis Young had a bit of a chat. Cripple was there signing autographs for as long as it took. Paddy Dow was there having a good chat to people. Motlop, I said, was really super engaging. Lewis Young, Blake Acres. It was just a super nice session for the people that turned up and saw the players.
You know what I like too is what H said probably about 16 times in his 6-minute interview, is that all of them came back 2 weeks early. Like, although the interview was the official first day, they'd have been there for 2 weeks, to get back into it.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Has anyone been down to the club, to the new facility? It's absolutely grand down there, just to walk into the foyer and see 16 cups lined up all in a row, and cheeky little spot, I think. Not too close to the door, but cheeky little spot there for number 17, which is not too far away. I'm tipping.
Probably a pretty easy one for St Kilda, isn't it?
Well, I've been a bit of a naughty boy. I've been trolling a few of the opposition Facebook accounts in my boredom and my spare time. So
you never.
When they announced the St Kilda recruits and they were doing a tour of the facility, I just said, the tour of their trophy cabinet probably wouldn't take too long as part of their induction process. But that's just me. I'm trying to get banned. I've been trying to get banned off the Essendon Facebook page for a while. I think they're probably used to me now.
Do you remember The Simpsons and how they're trying to introduce new students to the school, and there's absolutely nothing in the trophy case, and the principal says, "Yeah, all the trophies are out for cleaning."
That's gold. No, that's I'll just dig that one out and trial that to St Kilda.
Oh, we're offline again here. Facebook is really playing up here.
That's interesting. Since our stream's actually going, I don't know what's going on with Facebook.
Yeah, just connecting again. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, everyone. That's the downside of Johnny being up in Fiji.
All right. Apparently, we're back on again. So,
okay.
Apologies to everyone.
So where were we? Where were we talking? Oh, Ollie Hollands, had a good chat with him. He was signing autographs, and I said you better get used to that, young fella. He was a little bit in awe of everyone wanting his autograph. It's pretty cool to see the young fella doing that, and hopefully he gets used to it.
Cool. I'm just gonna go offline and head inside, see if I can get a better signal.
Okay. Will that mean I'm on still or not? I don't know if that means I was still on. Mick Lever's back. Sorry for everyone. Johnny's going to go inside and try and reconnect to see if we're back. I'm not sure if anyone's just getting me or I'm just going to talk shit for 5 minutes while Johnny goes and reconnects. But we'll see what happens when Johnny comes back online. Hopefully we can get back in business. Yeah, I think I was talking about the new facility. Not sure if anyone's been down there. Look, it's absolutely fantastic what they've done. Like I said, walk into the club, 16 cups lined up, the new area for the cafe, the new Carlton shop. There's a lot of history, memorabilia lined up there. It's a really fantastic facility. There's a new business facility upstairs, which I actually haven't had a chance to check out there. The gym is first class. They've got a really massive sort of indoor training facility. So yeah, if you get a chance to head down to Icon Park, make sure you get down there. It's really cool. I think there's another open training on the 14th, which I hope to be able to head to. So we'll see if anyone else can head down there. And love to grab a coffee for everyone. Breakout players. Brennan Whitford says Pitnet will be a big key next year. Fingers crossed he stays fit. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We started off the year with Pitnet and TDK rucking. I'm leaning towards TDK as our first ruck. I don't know if the two rucks can work in tandem together. Love to hear what everyone else thinks, as whether it will be Pitnet our first ruck. Is TDK your first call, or will we bring them both into the side and whether they can sort of work in tandem with each other? Love to hear what everyone thinks of that as well. Like I said, not sure if I'm still coming through while Johnny's away. Let me know if anyone can see and hear what's going on. Johnny might have to send another link at some point, possibly, but we'll see how we go. Just give us a shout out if you could, if we are still online and you can hear us. I don't think that's happening. I might leave as well because Johnny might have to redo the stream. Hang 5, please, ladies and gentlemen, and we shall be back in a minute.